Hello everybody. Today we'll look into TOGAF, why and what of TOGAF. TOGAF is the Open Group Architecture Framework. TOGAF stands for the Open Group Architecture Framework. So TOGAF is a framework and best practice for enterprise architecture. What is a framework? A framework is a platform that provides a foundation for developing software applications. In day-to-day, we develop some applications. For those applications, we use some foundational libraries. Those can be called as frameworks. And then we have some components. We use them very frequently. We call them reusable components. Those can be also called as framework. And when developers use these frameworks, they develop software very fastly. This can speed up the development lifecycle. Since these frameworks are proven and well established, they also avoid errors or bugs that may come up in the software that we are going to develop. And it also allows to reuse the existing resources. So while using the existing resources, we don't need to work again and again on the same functionality. Ultimately, that will lead to less cost. So it reduces the cost and as well time too, and increases the productivity. So in the similar fashion, TOGAF is also a framework which can be used to develop the architecture. Now we are developing the architecture, not the software. So by using the methodology called ADM, which is called Architectural Development Method, we will look into that more in our next lessons. And by using these proven methodology or processes, artifacts, we are going to come up with an architecture by using the TOGAF. And TOGAF is a best practice as well. Okay, what is a best practice? Best practice is something that is done, tried, tested, and proved. So it is one kind of a productive way of doing things. Instead of reinventing the wheel, we follow the practice that is being done from some time and which is successful. So TOGAF is also a best practice for architecture development. What is an architecture? Architecture describes about how all the components that are built and how they interact with each other and what is the environment they are operating in, what kind of principles it is following and what kind of patterns it is following. So in general, if we have to say, it can be called as a blueprint. It guides throughout the software development lifecycle. Okay, let us take an example of house construction. When we think of constructing a house, we generally go to an architect and then we discuss about what the requirements are, how our house should look like, and what kind of facilities we need to have. And then architect will listen to all our requirements and then he'll come up with a plan which suits our requirement. Similarly, before developing a software, architects listen to what is needed from the business side and as well as what are the challenges that are there in the existing system. They find the gaps and then they come up with the blueprint. This blueprint will be used to develop the software and it can be used as a checkpoint or it will be useful to review the implementation as it goes on. So that's about the architecture. Now what is an enterprise? Enterprise is a large-scale organization with a composite structure. Enterprise companies often have multiple divisions or small companies. One company may be in one location and the other company may be in another location. So it can be diversified and it will have a specialized functions throughout the locations. To connect those divisions, to connect those functions, we need to have one thing in common which can make them operate seamlessly. So that is where the enterprise architecture will come into picture. So enterprise is a multiple divisions or multiple locations, multiple regions, one or more entities. But to combine all these and operate seamlessly, we need to have an enterprise architecture which provides a blueprint that defines the structure and provides efficient operation. So that's about TOGAF as a framework, as a best practice, and how it will help the enterprise architecture. Next point, designing, planning, implementing, and governing an enterprise infrastructure, information architecture. Once we have a design, then we do the planning of how to use the design, and we plan the milestones to execute it so that we don't get into any delays or any hurdles. So that's what planning deals with. Implementing is execution or development of the software. Once we have design, we go through all the elements or components that needs to be developed, right? So, and we identify some of the very frequently used components, and then we make them as reusable components. So we do a lot of things while doing development. If the plan is not properly governed, or if you are not operating according to the plan, then it may increase the cost, it may increase the time, and that can lead to frustration or chaos and may eventually fail as well. So governance is very important aspect of software. TOGAF provides the framework. It provides some tools, techniques, and methods to govern the implementation. Then comes next point. It provides solutions to meet business needs. As we saw about, to overcome challenges like operations, cost, technology changes, resource constraints, and many more, TOGAF provides us a method to drive and derive solutions that meets business needs, not just for current systems, but also in consideration of future systems. Okay, last point, but not the least, it balances between IT efficiency and business change. TOGAF is a disciplined approach. It bridges the gap between IT and business. It bridges the gap between current and target systems, ensuring that innovative strategies are efficiently implemented. And it is an iterative approach. So if you fail in one iteration, the next iteration will help us to get us back to the track. And it's an agile framework. It promotes continuous improvement by iterations, and it's critical for maintaining a competitive advantage in dynamic market landscapes where we always get into the change, right? I mean, change, when I say change, technology changes, infrastructure changes. There are many other things which change, like external factors. So considering all those changes, our architecture should drive the software development lifecycle. So for that, we need a disciplined and approach, a strategized approach, which can help us in doing whatever we aim to. Okay, in this slide, we will be looking into why and what are the benefits of using TOGAF. Number one is business alignment. Okay, it's a holistic view of all IT elements and their business. As we discussed in the previous slide, an enterprise consists of multiple divisions, and all those divisions are located in different locations or sometimes in the same location as well, and have their specific function, or sometimes same functions, different external factors, or it can be anything. It's a mix of things. So to keep them on a single page, to operate them seamlessly, we need some approach, some mechanism, some method to keep the control. So this is where enterprise architecture will be helpful to operate them with less hassle and can keep them united through diversification. So that's how the business alignment in a holistic view is achieved. And it bridges the gap by providing a structured approach to align technology solutions with business objectives. Okay, like every organization, enterprise will have a target business system, which is a vision for 3 years or 5 years. It's a short-term vision or a long-term vision, long-term goals or short-term goals, whatever a business can look into. So to achieve that, enterprise architecture will help in understanding the current situation, what is current business, how it is running, and what the systems are involved, and then analyzes the delta that needs to be built to attain the target state, to build the state whatever the business is looking into in the future. So there are some tools like gap analysis and some things which will be discussed more in future lessons. So that's how it bridges the gaps by using the TOGAF methodology. And coming to the next, gives you the ability to develop and reorganize your business architecture to fix its shortcomings. Okay, it helps in reorganizing the systems, like finding the pain points and connecting them. It analyzes all the systems right now available, and then it identifies the redundancies in the systems. It identifies if there is any improvement required in the systems, or it identifies if any new systems are needed, and then comes up with a plan, the blueprint, and also weighs all the pros and cons of those systems that are available and that are going to be built, and accordingly a balanced approach will be taken and that will be implemented. So that's about the benefits of business alignment. And then coming to the next is efficient IT processes. It promotes best practices and standardizes IT and enterprise architecture processes. So as discussed, TOGAF as a best practice helps in standardizing things with the tools, with a large set of tools, techniques, and the processes it has in the repository, and it doesn't try to reinvent unless there is no pattern available. It combines some of the patterns and uses the patterns to build new patterns and try to address the business need. And it streamlines operations, reduce redundancies, and improve overall efficiency. With a structured approach of TOGAF methodology, it connects all the systems and identifies the improvement areas as we discussed in the before point, and discuss the need of any new system and provides a method to implement those. Also identifies that are not appropriate, which are misfits. There may be some system which is developed some time before and now it doesn't make any sense for the organization. So those kind of softwares or systems that are available, it will identify those and then they are marked for the removal. It reduces cost, delays, and improves customer satisfactions. Yeah, like I said, with all the other approaches which we discussed, it improves productivity, which in turn reduces cost and minimizes or eliminates delays as well. Obviously, it will definitely improve the customer satisfaction. Coming to the other point, wise investments. Making the right technology investments, buy versus make or build. Frequently, we fall into a situation where we think that, yeah, we can develop everything. We can develop anything on our own. But TOGAF provides some tools to identify the best solutions with a systematic approach. Whether it is beneficial to buy the software that is available in the market or to build the software on our own. So it weighs all the pros and cons and it gives some pointing system to it, and then according to the points or according to the merits, we can decide on whether we need to buy the software or to make the software by our own. And vendor neutral approach ensures that organizations can make technology choices. So we don't stick to, as an enterprise architect, should not stick to a particular technology or a particular vendor. Should weigh on the benefits of using this technology or the vendor, and whatever we choose now should be replaceable in future if it is not serving the purpose. So we have to make decisions as an enterprise architect. The decisions has to be made without locking into any vendor or technology. It provides a framework for assessing and adopting emerging technologies in a structured and risk-aware manner. Yeah, it provides a medium to assess the existing technologies and emerging technologies and have a point-to-point weight and benefits that are possible, and the difficulties we may fall into, and so on. So it looks into all other considerations as well, whether this technology is going to benefit the system Though it is an emerging technology, but it is not a useful technology for the organizations, then yeah, those kind of decisions, all those things has to be taken in the view of business needs, not in the view of emerging technologies or the trends. And there are many other benefits as well, and some of them are like insights into change management through the ADM, architecture development method. As we all know, change is the constant thing that is possible. So with changing requirements, system should be capable of driving the current needs, and also should extend to build the components into system for future needs. So, and the consideration is without disturbing the current needs. So to attain the target system, the current system should function as is, and then we have to build on the current system to achieve the target system. So the change that may come up should be handled in such fashion, whether it is a business change or it's a data change or it's an application change or technology change or any external change. Any change that has to be built in the similar fashion. Common architectural principles and standards leading to greater consistency in development efforts. TOGAF has a repository of standards and principles in all the domains. Some of the principles in the domains like business, data, application, and technology are like data should be consistent, should not be redundant, should maintain integrity, and some of the application related are like it should be secure and should bridge business and technology, the important factor. And technology, coming to technology, it should be scalable, reliable, and secure, and should align with business goals. And the next one, effective communication between stakeholders, ensuring everyone understands the architecture and its implications. To keep informed everybody and to keep them on same page, communication is very, very important, whether it is written or verbal, but by any means, it should be consistent. So the deliverables that we achieve in the process and the artifacts we develop and the components or the building blocks that come up in the process of the life cycle, those all should follow a particular standard, and it should communicate very clearly and consistently to all the stakeholders. Thank you. If you like this video, leave a comment. We'll meet you again.